In a world that spins ever faster, where moments dissolve into the next with barely a breath in between, the weight of expectation presses heavily on the shoulders of many. Have you ever felt the relentless tide of urgency, where days blur into nights and tasks multiply like shadows in the dwindling light? In this cacophony, one young adult, caught in the crossfire of ambition and anxiety, stands at the precipice of despair, questioning the very fabric of their existence. What if patience is more than just the act of waiting? What if it is a profound embrace of life's rhythms, a dance with time itself? These questions linger in the air, aching for exploration. It was a particularly frenetic afternoon when she stumbled upon the old monastery tucked away in a sleepy corner of the city. The walls, weathered and adorned with creeping vines, seemed to whisper secrets. In a moment of impulsivity, she crossed the threshold. Birds chirped melodiously, and sunlight painted golden patches on the tranquil ground. Here the noise of the outside world faded, revealing an unexpected sanctuary. Yet within her heart, the storm raged on, and she could almost hear the ticking of an unseen clock, reminding her of deadlines and expectations. As she wandered through the courtyard, she spotted the monk. His presence radiated a serene confidence. He sat cross-legged on the ground, eyes closed, with a subtle smile gracing his lips. The young adult approached cautiously, feeling an inexplicable pull towards his stillness. She yearned for something she couldn't quite articulate, but the chaos within her screamed for release. "Excuse me," she interrupted gently, as though afraid to disturb the peace surrounding him. "How do you remain so calm? Life feels unbearable most days." The monk opened his eyes slowly, as if awakening from a deep dream. The story of her life was unfolding with lessons and experiences, yet she had been too busy rushing to see the beauty hidden within the present. With each fleeting moment spent conversing with the monk, she began to unravel her understanding of patience. The more he spoke, the more she felt her tight grip on life beginning to loosen. The frantic pace that had characterized her days was not sustainable. It was a facade of productivity that masked her inner turmoil. She questioned her choices. Was this the life she truly wanted? The relentless pursuit of success had left her exhausted, and the accolades of society felt empty. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the courtyard, she found herself sharing more than just superficial concerns. She spoke of her dreams, her fears, and the suffocating weight of expectations she felt from family, friends, and herself. The monk listened intently, his expression unwavering, as if he could see beyond her words into the heart of her struggles. "Imagine a river," he suggested, "flowing steadily through the landscape. Sometimes it rushes, carving out new paths, while at other times it moves slowly, allowing the earth to settle around it. Both speeds serve a purpose." The imagery resonated with her. She had lived her life as if she were a speeding train, with no thought to the scenery passing by, the laughter of friends, the warmth of the sun, the quiet moments of reflection. The river taught her that there is grace in stillness and power in patience, a revelation that stirred something deep within her. "I feel like I am rushing to catch something that keeps running away," she admitted, vulnerability spilling into her voice. "But the more I chase it, the more it eludes me. To chase is to resist," he replied. "What you seek is not found in the future, but rather in the present moment. Patience allows you to align yourself with the natural flow of life. The need to control every outcome will only lead to disappointment." The clarity of his words wrapped around her heart like a warm embrace, and in that moment, the storm within began to quiet, revealing a path illuminated by understanding. As she left the monastery that evening, the weight of her worries felt lighter. The word patience echoed in her mind, no longer just a concept, but a living, breathing entity. She grasped the first chapter of a new narrative unfolding before her, one that promised exploration and growth. The teachings of the monk. What would it mean to truly accept the present without the burden of relentless striving? As she stepped back into the hurried world, she felt like a seed freshly sown into the earth, ready to take root and grow. The rhythm of life had shifted, and with it, her perception transformed. The clarity of that day would unravel in time, leading her to deeper realizations about not just patience, but about her place in the tapestry of life itself. As the city twinkled under the night sky, she wondered, what lies ahead now that she has begun to understand the true essence of patience? The journey ahead was uncertain, but one thing was clear: she was no longer merely waiting. She was beginning to live, embracing each moment. A project she had poured her heart and soul into was rejected, and the words of her supervisor rang in her ears, echoing her deepest fears. You need to be more proactive. You need to deliver faster. The weight of disappointment crashed over her, and the familiar urge to retreat into herself surged. In that moment, impatience clawed at her, urging her to react, to lash out, to fix everything at once. It was as if the ground beneath her feet had given way, and she stood on the edge of despair, ready to plunge into the abyss of self-doubt. But just as she was about to spiral into a familiar pattern of frustration and anger, a memory of the monk's words floated to the surface, like a lifeline in stormy waters. True patience is a deep understanding, but what if she could embrace the journey instead of racing toward the destination? With this revelation, she decided to seek the monk once more. She returned to the monastery. Patience is not merely about waiting, but about engaging with life's challenges with resilience. It is an active process, not a passive one. His words, ask yourself, what is this discomfort trying to teach me? What can I learn from this moment? The idea of reframing her setbacks as lessons. She realized that the urgency she felt was rooted in a fear of the unknown, a fear of not being in control. But what if she could learn to surrender to the flow of life, to trust that everything would unfold as it should? With this newfound understanding, she left the monastery, her heart lighter and her mind clearer. As the days turned into weeks, she consciously practiced patience. When impatience bubbled to the surface, she paused, took a breath, and asked herself what the moment was teaching her. Each challenge became a stepping stone, a chance to cultivate resilience and understanding. Her perspective shifted. The pressures of work transformed into opportunities for creativity, and the expectations of others became invitations to explore her true desires. She learned to celebrate small victories, to find joy in the process rather than fixating solely on the outcome. One day, as she sat at her desk, a sense of peace enveloped her. The project that had once felt like an anchor now flowed seamlessly, as if the river had carved its path through her work. The rejection had ignited a fire within her, propelling her to create something authentic and true to her vision. In that moment, she understood that patience was not merely a passive waiting game. It was an active engagement with life's unfolding journey. The realization washed over her like sunlight breaking through the clouds. She had transformed her impatience into a powerful tool for personal growth and resilience. As she looked back on her journey, she recognized the beauty in every setback, every moment of discomfort, for they had shaped her into who she was becoming. And so, she continued to walk her path.